Hey everyone, I got a chance to ride and tour Ottawa's two new rail lines on Monday, Lines 2 and 4, which will be opening in the new year on January 6. Currently, Line 1 is Ottawa's only rail line, but that'll all change in the new year with two new heavy rail lines opening. The upgraded Line 2 will operate between Bayview Station and Limebank and connect to Line 1 and Line 4, which will take riders to Ottawa's International Airport. Today we'll be touring the stations and vehicles to see what service will look like in the new year. Further expansion of the network is under construction and will continue until 2026. The Trillium Line, or Line 2, actually opened in 2001, using largely single-tracked and low-cost infrastructure. Improvements continued until the line's closure in 2020 for extensions, expansions, and improvements. OC Transpo will be launching Lines 2 and 4 in phases, which we'll talk about more at the end of the video. The tour consisted of a simulation and test of revenue service for both lines, as well as a chance to tour Bayview, South Keys, Airport, and Limebank stations, and ride both lines end-to-end. Starting the tour off with one of the shiniest parts of Line 2 is one of the 7 high-quality Flirts trains built by Stadler. These are seriously some of the best trains for regional rail available in North America at the moment, and in my opinion, the best vehicles in OC Transpo's fleet, although the double-deckers are quite fun. The open gangway Flirts feature a multitude of seating options with fold-up seats, forward-facing, and paired seating. Each car has a lower level which is accessible, but the ends of each car are a couple steps higher. The Flirts also come with some great digital displays, showing the next stations and the time until the next stop. I find the current time at the bottom to be a bit confusing though, as it looks like it's the arrival time at the terminus station. Otherwise, these displays are rock solid. If you're paying close attention, you might have noticed the strip maps show Line 3. These will be covered to display accurate information until Line 3 opens in a couple years. The trains also have great big windows and actual barriers next to the doors to lean on, something that's sorely missing on the Line 1 LRVs. Line 4 will be using slightly less shiny, but still completely functional Alstom Concordia Lint trains, which OC Transpo bought in the early 2010s. These trains used to service Line 2 before its closure, and received some upgrades for reopening. While the lints will mostly be seen on Line 4, they'll also be coupled to operate on Line 2. Each lint is 42 meters, adding up to the length of the Stadler Flirts when coupled. We started off at Bayview Station, the northern terminus of Line 2, which features an interchange with Line 1 and in the future Line 3 as well. Bayview will have 2 platforms for Line 2, with the western platform 1 seamlessly connecting to escalators leading up to the Line 1 platforms. On the south side of Bayview is another exit and a bridge to nowhere, which is actually going to be a direct link into a future development that was future-proofed into this project. Bayview, and many of the stations in Ottawa, have a lot of connections with multi-use paths, which will really help with connectivity. On board the train, we rode through the 6 stations between Bayview and South Keys. The corridor is double-tracked until just past Corso Italia, and then single-tracking until Carleton, with a single platform at Dow's Lake Station. Under Dow's Lake, the existing tunnel couldn't be expanded, so it had to remain single-tracked. Part of the project's upgrades included adding cell service to the tunnel, and a basic amenity for modern transit projects, but cell service is still missing on many transit systems, so this is a big win. Carleton will be one of the busiest stations on the line, situated right inside Carleton University's campus. The station has 2 platforms, an art piece, and a rather wide multi-use path going under the tracks. Back on a single track, we make a brief stop at Mooney's Bay, formerly known as Confederation Station. The station is actually a fair distance from Mooney's Bay Park, which has a great beach, riverfront trails, and athletic facilities, but buses connect the station and the park fairly easily. Walkley and Greenboro are both single-platform stations. Greenboro was also the original terminus of Line 2 when it was in service before 2020. At South Keys Station, Line 2 connects to the 3-stop Line 4 airport link, which operates between Ottawa International Airport and South Keys Station. A big criticism of the project is that riders from the airport will need to take 3 trains from the airport to Ottawa's downtown, but the connections are so simple that this really isn't a huge deal. Line 2 and 4 use the same island platform, meaning that transfers at South Keys stay on one platform and just requires a 6-minute wait. It's really not hard. Bayview Station only has one escalator to transfer from Line 2 to Line 1, where a 10-minute ride gets you downtown. That being said, it is physically possible to operate trains from Bayview to the airport. So if major events at the convention center next to Uplands justify the change, OC Transpo might operate special services providing a one-seat ride from Bayview to the airport, but for now, ridership demand is focused on the 3 Line 2 stations past South Keys. Line 2 is double-tracked from Leitrim to Limebank, with Leitrim and Bowesville having 2 side platforms. Between Leitrim and Bowesville is a wildlife crossing above the rail corridor, helping to bridge the gap created by the fence corridor. Line 2's southern terminus is Limebank, an elevated station with almost nothing around it. However, the lands around the station are zoned for transit-oriented development, which will increase the station's ridership in the coming years. Line 4 is a short 3-stop route between the airport and South Keys Station. Just like Line 2, Line 4 will operate every 12 minutes, but only uses single Alstom-Cordia Lint trains. The airport station is one of the best waiting areas of any station on the O-Train network, with indoor seating on both sides of the fare paid zone. A short walk will bring riders to and from the airport with enough wayfinding to clearly help people find their way. One of the clever details of this station is that all of the fare gates are wider, the width of the accessible fare gates, to help anyone with luggage get in and out easier. Tremblay on Line 1 could have used this setup as it connects to the ViaRail station. Line 4's other station, Uplands, is an elevated station which has the EY Center, a major event center, next to it. Back at South Keys, riders can stay on the same platform as Line 4 to transfer to Line 2. Line 2 and 4 are scheduled to soft launch on January 6 of 2025, starting off with Monday to Friday service for at least 2 weeks, before adding service on Saturdays for at least 2 more weeks, before finally having 7-day service. With winter weather being especially unpredictable, the phased launch will allow OC Transpo to maintain reliability while they work out any potential issues, with the weekends giving them more time to perform improvements. The Line 2 bus, which has become a fabric of the transit network over the last few years, will be renamed to B2 and operate until the spring of 2025 or later, helping to add alternative options while riders transition to the new network. Over the next couple of weeks, trial running will continue, and currently has a 99.5% on-time performance score, which is pretty great. If you notice trains crawling at slow speeds on double-track sections, it's likely waiting for a train in the opposite direction to pass, and schedules will likely be adjusted to reduce this after riders start using the line. The upgraded Line 2 will serve as a key route for residents and visitors of Ottawa, linking key points like Carleton University, several parks, and train lines going both to downtown and the airport. The line stays relatively cost-effective while including enclosed heated seating at stations and comfortable modern trains. It's a model many cities in North America should be looking at, upgrading existing rail lines quickly to improve the usefulness of rapid transit. Line 4 links major destinations like the EY Center and the airport, while maintaining higher frequencies on both Line 2 and Line 4. Stay tuned for another video covering the progress of all 45 kilometers of the O-Train Stage 2 network coming soon. A big thanks to OC Transpo and the City of Ottawa for the opportunity, and thanks for watching.